Hey everyone, Dan here. I wanted to take a look and see how our plays panned out today. It's after the market close on Monday, March 1st, and I tweeted out a bunch of updates as the day was going on. I had put out a bunch of videos from last Friday through this morning, sort of showing what areas that we could look for in various tickers and how we'd be looking to sort of comprehend what was happening at any point during the day. Before we get into it, if you do enjoy this video, or if you've enjoyed my other videos, a like and a subscribe are highly appreciated. And if you want to get my updates during the day, you can follow me on Twitter at Dan_Coyle. I'll put it in the description below. But otherwise, let's just jump right into it. So I had covered CLOV in a video that went out. I recorded everything earlier than it went out, obviously. I think I recorded it over the weekend, and this went out this morning on my channel. But anyway, let me switch because we weren't on a 5-minute chart, which this is. We were probably on the hour chart. Yep. So in that video that came out this morning before the market opened, we had said there was this critical bottom here, and that this was hopefully our be-all, end-all support at this point. And then we were looking at these targets. This area here, this black area here is today. So everything that was like up until this gray zone had already happened. So this isn't crystal ball territory, but anything to the right of where my cursor is right now hadn't happened yet. So let's take a look and see sort of what we might have missed, what we may have gotten right. So this was during pre-market hours. It started to interact with this 1008 zone, which we had identified as important, obviously relying on this previous price action. We then got a nice jump up, got pretty close to our 1053 zone there and started to struggle around it. Got pushed off it a little bit, but we never came back down to this 1024, which is cool. And as you can see, that's resulted in a pretty solid jump up. Right now blowing through that 1082 zone, so that's cool. I have a couple of long positions in CLOV, so good for me. But we'll see what happens. There's obviously higher price targets here that it still has yet to reach, so we'll see how these act as we go. It looks like this 1108 and 1141, when there's these boxes, I'm kind of identifying those as heavier zones, meaning they're going to be harder to break through, but they're also going to act as greater support once they reach them. And you kind of see that here with this 1008 level was one of those. But now we're struggling with this 1108, which is anticipated. So there's CLOV. Let's see Palantir. So Palantir, I had actually did an update today. So let's see what today's update yielded. So this morning I said, if we get stuck in this red box, that, if that becomes resistance, it's going to be hard to break over it and we might be in a little bit of trouble for the day. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. I'm also long Palantir, so I was hoping to get into these green boxes and take off, but it just bounced off of them and then, was bouncing off this blue box too, and then started bouncing off the red box. So, we can do an analysis following up on this to see what it looks like, but we might have some answers if we go out to the 1-hour chart. So this is what I would have done an analysis on previously, but it looks like there's not really anything new happening. Because there's this giant zone here between, before we get to 30 that, is actually like just a kind of a consolidation zone. So nothing new to report from this. Maybe I'll do an update video on this tonight or tomorrow morning, sort of do a new analysis and see where we are based on this tough resistance that we saw today. NNDM, I had sent something out today. Is that true? Maybe not. Let's see with the 1 hour. Okay, so this is today. So it looks like I did send something out today. Let's take a look at what we saw. Okay. So 1010 was always my thing where I was like, can you please establish over 1010 and then get up to 1093, I think is the level I'm looking for above this. So this was a zone that I had said, we should pay attention to earlier on in the day. And obviously we got drawn back down to that, bounced off, but then fell through it. I do think that we're okay. I mean, NNDM is just being annoying in terms of its getting back on its bull run because it has taken quite the beat down, and it's unfortunate that it's not coming back stronger, faster. But as long as we hold here, I still think that we're okay. Let me see how things are playing out in the larger chart. Yeah, I mean, same idea. This 1010 is holding. This 1093 is really what we want to get to, as I have been saying, because I think that once we establish over this 1093, and that's our new support, that we can fly pretty free and clear to 1250, which would be awesome. And then still, there's a lot of price to claw back to get back to where we were before it got beaten down. So we'll see what happens. CCIV. This is on the 1 hour, so this is, I think I had done the daily chart for this one in the video. Yeah, this looks more correct to me. So, we're still hanging out at this level here, 30.20, trying to jump off of that. Obviously, it's approaching this 33.50 zone. If you all haven't seen the video yet, my hypothesis was essentially like it's going to get stuck for, it's kind of going to settle into this blue box area. So 47.50 down to 44, call it, and that's where it's going to kind of hang out for quite some time. So I think that's where we're going with CCIV. I don't see any reason to panic at this point. Sndl, I doubt that I was looking at the daily with this. Here's the hour. So on the hour charts, yeah, so we bounced off of this, 143.3 that we had identified before. We really don't want to fall below this 127. But it didn't make any headway today, unfortunately. It really needs to get over that 143 if it has any hope of getting back to $2, which is what I'm, sort of keeping an eye out for. AMC. We had previously, I had done several evaluations on this because people were asking me, so let's go to the one that I did today. I had basically said this morning, let's try to not get stuck under this red box like happened with Palantir, and luckily we didn't. I said here's a zone here and another zone here, and then this is where we could really start to make the money if we can get above the green box. The green means the money. Red means be very, very concerned. Yellow is sort of like a warning, and the blues are just sort of like it'll probably consolidate / bounce off of here. So as we saw in this blue area, it did continue to consolidate around there for quite some time. It eventually bounced off of it, and we'll see if it can stay above this 911. I think that that's exactly where the price is right now, actually after hours. It just jumped up to 914. But it needs to stay above that 911 if we have any hope of climbing, into the nines and then establishing ourselves above 10. XL, I had done just I had just tweeted out like the chart. I didn't do a video on it, but the thing that I was looking at here was basically like there was this channel that's indicated in the red because it's a big down channel, and then there's these magnetic zones coming, and then there's these consolidation points that we should expect. So the good thing about this consolidation channel is that it gets us, this consolidation zone is it gets us out of the downward channel. That's what we want. First, we need to break ranks with that downward channel, get ourselves out of it, and then we can start to bump up against these zones. So I think we're gonna, hopefully get ourselves into the 15 to 16 range, consolidate there for a little bit, and then be drawn pretty quickly to 1740, establish that as support, and then we'll have a nice bump. That'll feel good up to 1955, and establish that, and then we can get ourselves back into the 20s. So still looking good with XL there. It could have had a more tremendous day, but that's okay. Every day can't be gangbusters. NIO, we had done a video on before. I think I did the daily chart with NIO, and let's see how we are. Okay, so we're still at this 48.93 level here. The good thing about this level is as long as we can hold it, and we are, because right now the price is this 49.76 number that you see. As long as we can hold that, it's going to consolidate there a little bit because it's a magnetic zone. But then we're going to shoot up one day soon, maybe tomorrow, who knows, to this 54.34 level. And that'll be a really great day to gain some money back if you've been in it for a while and have been sort of like taking the brunt of this beatdown. So that area is looking good. Yeah, here's the 1 hour. I think I drew these on the day, but it's fine to change time frames and see how it's holding up. Okay, GME. I did something with this today because someone had asked me. At some point during the day. I think I did it on the 1 minute. Yeah, I definitely did it on the 1 minute as the day was going. So let's just get to the 1 minute and then zoom back out so you can see what happened. So when I sent this out, like all this yellow, blue, green, like the price hadn't gotten there yet. So it was probably around this time period that I drew these. And so I basically said the yellow is like caution, or warning, be careful. This is getting into a zone that could be challenging. This was going to be support, and then the green, what I indicate with the green and what I said was, if we can get into that green box and establish that, then we should take off. Green, again, means money. And that is what happened. So, we bumped our heads up against that 117.79 level, like it says there. But we didn't really have any friction or resistance from this 112.96 to that 17.79. It bounced off of it a couple of times once it got to the 17.79, but it didn't have any strong friction points in between, which is great. And then once it was able to establish over that, then it leapt off of that. So that one is still going well. I know people are getting nervous about it, but I really think I've been saying since last week that I think we see GameStop at 200 again before we see it at 80 again. That's still what it's looking like to me. JMIA, I had done a chart on that I put out this morning, and I had basically said, I think here's sort of what the future price action looks like. Maybe a small dip, and then heading up to this 46 level, then we draw back down, come back up, and then shoot up. So I do think we're primed. So we're just over that 46 level. We're at 47.15. So we're hitting this, these two dots that I frame here. So we either have a little bit of retracement back to this 45.93 zone and then shoot up to that 54 area, or we just go right for that 54 area. But I think we are looking pretty golden on JMIA. All right, those are all of the updates for today. If you want to see how to draw these zones yourself, I will post a link to the video up top, so you should see that by now. And I will try to develop some new charts, so I don't want to just do recaps, obviously, and sort of see what we can look out for moving forward. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.